What's up, Leather YouTube? Today's project is super special. It's got like a 7-layer bean dips worth of layers on how many layers of special this project is to me. So first, we're making a project for an American war hero and a veteran. It's a weightlifting belt. Your boy likes to lift heavy stuff every once in a while. It's got a ton of the stuff I like to do on it. And probably the most special thing is this is for a longtime childhood friend of mine and got into all kind of mischief when we were like 13 and 14 years old. We've done some knucklehead teenager stuff and like giving each other tattoos in bedrooms before. So shout out to my buddy Andrew. Love you, buddy. We're making my buddy Andrew a super sick weightlifting belt. Let's get into it. So here's what we got. I got all the art laid out. I actually tooled this skull. Also a sneak peek at what to expect from the rest of this video. But I did a full walkthrough of tooling a realistic human skull on my page. It should have been the last video that I just posted, so go check that out after this one. But I gotta say, this thing is going to be absolutely insane. So I'm gonna get carving. We gotta hit these things with some oil. You know, your boy loves to mix the Western with the edgy rocker vibes. I mean, this is a perfect range of like everything that I do right here. I mean, the only thing that's like really missing, I guess, is like my rodeo queen look, which would be super, super girly. I think we get enough colors from this one and enough of that pretty kind of girly vibe from this one that we get the whole range. I'll let these soak up this oil. So I got this thing glued down to a backing piece. Nice solid black backing. Kind of wish I filmed that, but I didn't. Anyways, here we go. I'm cutting a stitching groove right here into the edge of this belt. And what this does is you probably won't be able to see it, but there's a tiny little hole here. And it's basically this blade that cuts a groove and removes a little piece of leather. That's what this little string is here. And what this does is it basically it removes this like little, you know, groove worth of material. And the reason why I'm doing this is what I'm going to use as a guide for my sewing machine. And I'm gonna sew down in this groove. And part of the reason why I do this is because now that this material is removed, there's a little bit of negative space in here. So when I actually sew in this groove here. Quick interruption. YouTube has notified me that literally 80% of you guys who watch my videos are not subscribed. So please hit that subscribe button. We are trying to hit 3,000 subscribers by the end of 2023. I'm not a full-time YouTuber. I am a leather crafter who makes videos in his spare time, just trying to put out some extra content for you guys. So please hit that subscribe button, like this video, share it with a friend, do what you can. Most of these videos take 5 or 6 hours to make between filming it, editing it, making a thumbnail, all that stuff. I don't get paid to make YouTube videos. I just enjoy doing them. So in return, if I bring you any kind of value, whether you laugh, you cry, you learn something, whatever it might be, please hit that subscribe button. Now back to the video. It is gonna help protect the threads against wear on the surface like this. It's a little bit of a recess area, which is gonna give our thread a little bit better chance to hold up over time. I really like how all this stuff turned out. The only thing that I'm kind of bummed about is I'm gonna have to hit these letters again. Something happened where some of this white rubbed off and I do not like how this looks, so ignore that for now. But I'm gonna repaint it and throw a little clear coat on it at the end. All right, let's get this bad boy zipped together. rounding the final corner on this thing. We got this sewn together. All I gotta do is trim these threads and burn them. So that way our stitching doesn't come undone. Now this is one of my favorite parts of this whole process. It's one of the most oddly satisfying deals. So we need to trim this backing off of this belt, right? So what we're gonna do is take our razor blade. Now it's gonna probably be hard to show you guys just with the angles, but I'm gonna take this blade and run it right next to the veg tan, the tooled part of the belt. And we're just gonna trim the excess. I forgot I figured out the ultimate POV. So here's a good shot of how I do this. You gotta be really careful. And kind of once you get started, it gets pretty easy. You just go gentle. Kind of once you start feeling resistance, then you know you're starting to get into that thicker material. This should glide pretty easy. I'm really not even pulling my right hand, I'm more so pulling the project, keeping the belt, or keeping my blade in the same hand and making the belt move. So on a turn like this, I'll come a little bit past so I can get in here like so. Ooh, that happens. It's always better to cut away than cut towards your project. Okay, you see I got an awful lot of this trimmings on the back. That's because I've also been working on 3 other ones. So if you want better look at this, I paint this belt in a different video, and then I do a closer look at all these other ones on my other social media content, Instagram and such. So if you want to see more of this stuff, be sure to check that out. All right, so our edges are a little bit rough. We got some glue and the layers don't quite match up evenly, so we're gonna run it on the sanding wheel. Let's see if I can't get a good before and after. Look at that nasty edge that does not look very flat. Now we got this really nice, pretty edge right there. I only did this portion, but I gotta do the rest of the belt, just so you can see what it is I'm achieving here. Okay, on to the next step. Okay, so what we got next is we're going to hit this thing with the edge beveler, which is this tool here. Right now, if you look, this is a very square, these are right angles right here. So what we're gonna do is take this, and it's gonna round off these edges. The forbidden leather spaghetti, and then I'll do the other side just to give you guys a visual real quick. This isn't a right angle anymore. This is kind of rounded and a little bit nicer on the hands. So I'm gonna blast this thing. Now what we're gonna do is take our liquid darkness. We're gonna hit these edges. Take our dauber, run this along the sides. It's gonna give us a nice finished look to the edge. Some people would wax the edges right now. I prefer to hit the edges with a coat of black first. I think it ends up looking a lot nicer, a lot more complete. This isn't necessarily a traditional Western look, but then again, neither is my shop, right? So okay, so what we're gonna do is take our beeswax, okay, and run it along this edge here. You see this edge whiten up with that wax. Now we're gonna come over to our burnishing wheel. Right now, see it's kind of chalky, or you see that wax residue. Gonna run it on the big guy. Should mat down the centers a little bit. And then I'll run it on the middle guy. And that should give us a nice kind of shiny coat there. Nice finished slick edge. The edges are super nice and shiny. You might be able to see them better here. Try and get a reflection. I don't know if I can, but the edges are nice. So I can taste the finish line. I don't know if you guys can pick up on the markings, but these markings, just transferred them over from the pattern. These holes we have down here at the end are for the rivets, as well as the slots for the buckles. And then we're gonna switch hole punches for these holes down here at the tip. Let's go. This batch is looking psychotic. Here we go, folks. Building an American war hero and one of my best friends since childhood, a weightlifting belt, is coming to a close. So you gotta get our buckle on here. Here's our 3 copper rivets. Feed these guys through. Gravity take over now, and just like clockwork, that fits. So what we're gonna do is on this first one, we're gonna lock this first one in so it sticks. I have 2 free hands. I'm gonna use this dome side to round these off. And I like to use the bottom to really flatten them. All I gotta do now is touch up those initials on the end. We'll save the big reveal at the end, but I got a pretty dope pile going. I mean, the freaking dragon on this one's so tight. This one's really pretty. Then this one's pretty tough, man. This is dope. Man, I love how this thing turned out. I could do this type of stuff all day. Everybody knows me as the skull and the rose guy, so I will gladly take it and I will gladly keep doing projects like this. And he wanted my logo on there, but I told him, man, you don't gotta represent me that hard. Why don't we just give you a sick ass Grim Reaper with a cowboy hat? That way you can feel like you're repping my brand, and that way I could feel like I gave you the best project possible. So all in all, this thing turned out absolutely incredible. I could not have asked for a more exciting project to do.